Well, watch out, welcome back. Okay, today, as you can see, we have another Harley Davidson in the house. It's been a little while since we've been on Harley Davidsons. Today we're going to put some slammer shocks and some bicycle pedals on this bike for this geezer. Welcome, Carlos.
Yay!
How you doing, brother? So, if any of you watch the videos, you know that we have the Transitions music, which is rather fantastic, as I'm sure you'll agree. Well, this is Mr. Transitions himself, Carlos Van Hudson. I still can't say that.
Carlos von Weisenhausen.
Von Weisenhausen. So you heard it here, said by the man himself. Right, so today, like I said, we're just going to do some Burley shocks to slam the back end, because it's a little bit high in pogo, and some rather embarrassing bicycle pedals, which he seems to want fitted to the front, which need a little modification edge so that they can fit. So stick around, stay tuned, and let's see how stupid it gets. Right, that's it, back off. Just need it about enough, just so the wheel moves, but you don't want it. Just want to take the weight off it. There it is, that's it. Nice and stable, baby. Right, one of those. Now this is honestly one of those jobs. We've done it so many times. We've done about 4 videos of this, I think. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just changing shocks, piece of cake. But what we're going to do first of all is going to loosen them off. You put them on there.
You did.
Yeah, bugger. Right, well, if we do anything else, I'm just going to measure, because obviously we're putting the slammer shocks on, which are going to slam it, you hope. But we'll do a measurement of where it is at this point. So I'll just take the weight off it and put it back on its wheels and get an idea what the ride height is. Okay, so that's a standard height. It's a little bit. I reckon if you put that, if we go from, that's not going to work, is it? That's it. Right, we'll go to that flat there on top of this little plate, and we'll take a line to the underside of that, so it's directly upright, so that'll give us a direct ride height reduction, or how much it's reduced by. See that? We have exactly to this point under here, that's 9.5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Precisely 9.5 inches, which will be the same on both sides. So we'll take them off. Put that on there. So this is it. Here we go, pen. See what we got.
Oh, very nice.
So Burley brand. Whoops. Oh, they're lovely. Well, straight away, look at the difference in height. OMG, WTF. In height of the naked shock, we've got. Take that out there. Okay, centre to centre, we are. Now, Penny, you can see at that end. Centre to centre, we should be 12 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly 12 inch, 11 3/4.
Yep.
Okay, or 30 mil, 30 centimetres. And that one is centre to centre, 10 3/4. Here we are. Okay, that's off. There we go. Another one. There we go. Right. Okay, in the midst of this, what we've got is a pair of second-hand used Burley shocks. These have been used on another Sportster in the past, and whoever fitted them has supplied them like this, and this is always the case when you get second-hand parts. Now, you have to sometimes be creative and get around things. And what we've discovered here is a situation where, say that's the bolt, this is the bolt that holds the bottom mount on the Harley shocks. We have a nice clearance there. Clearance, same on the bottom, and if we measurify that, we have we need a 13 mil hole. That's 12.5 mil thick. It's probably a 12 mil bolt that's been zinc plated, so you've ended up with 12.25, 12.5. So we need a 13 mil clearance hole. What we have in the top of the Burley shocks, if we look here, is we have a 16 mil hole, 16 and a tiny bit. So we've got a 3 mil discrepancy. We've got quite simply a 13 mil required clearance in a 16mm hole. Now, as far as fitting shocks is concerned, that won't do, because what will happen is the bolt itself, that's the bottom one. If you come in close, man, or zoom in, that's the bottom one, which is nicely shouldered. Shouldered meaning you have this straight part of the shank that does all the load bearing. So when this is on there, what you're doing is you're getting any form of pounding or load that goes on there is going onto a solid part. But on the top, you get, and this is factory, that is a factory Harley Davidson bolt. You don't get any shank shouldered there. You get a threaded bolt all the way. And what happens with this, these little points, these little peaks here, are not as strong, obviously, as solid metal. So when that's in the top, and that's bolted up to the top of the bike, any pounding on here is going to cause these little peaks to crush, meaning it will weaken the bolt and it could just shear it. I mean, that's extreme. You've got to do massive endo and slam it down with your fat ass on it, and you might shear it, but honestly, it won't do. So what we've got to do, we're going to get some tubing and we're going to make some spacers for this. All that would simply take the form of, all it would take the form of is a piece of tubing that's got the outside diameter. You want a 1.5mm thick piece of tube, so it'll have to have an outside diameter of that size and an inside diameter of that size. So when you put it in, it's nice and snug. So basically filling that gap. But temporarily, so that we can fit them for War Carlos and he can ride it home now, we're going to temporarily make a bush from some steel tubing. All I'm going to do is lop off the steel tubing. It's the wrong size at the moment, it won't go in. We're going to slice it open to make it into an open piece, and then that will slip in there neatly and it will fill the gap confidently for now, so that you can ride it, you can move it around, and then you can use it until we get some proper bushes and we can fit them in properly, or whether you decide not to have these, but at least you can get them on there for today and you can ride it home.
Cool.
So the next thing, lop some of these off, cut it up, shape it already, and then start pushing them in. We need 4 of, because obviously there's 4 mount ends to each side. Alright, let's get stuck in. Right, use safety goggles on. Always wear your safety protection.
Mine don't look much better.
I think you should turn the camera around and show me yours, man.
No, you don't.
Show you mine if you show me yours.
Ooh. Steady, it's not that kind of video.
Oh,
that's the other channel.
one, sorry.
Don't tell them about that channel. Shh, they don't know about that channel. Right, ear rolls.
Poses 50-foot high through the fumes and haulage.
There we go, a little temporary spacer made just from a piece of tubing, little piece of tube cut down the centre to give it a collapsibility to go into there nice and neatly. And what I'm going to do, pop the bolt on, pop that in. We'll start actually going to give it a little leading edge, just linish a little leading edge on it so it draws it in. A little bit, and all that will do, put it on there now, and as soon as that meets the thread it will just draw it in and you'll get a nice snug bush real tight. Right, catch the thread, and that will draw the bush into the shock. Nice, yeah, you can get in on there. Nice snug fit. And it's drawing the bush spacer in. Nice and snug. Little spacer. Mate, that is so much lower.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That's better. That's took all the slack out of it too. And out on the back. Right, what I need you to do, you just get that straight on there. Ready?
Yeah. No.
Come up a little bit higher, give it more angle on it. Hang on, you might want to come up a little bit more. There you go.
Hello?
It's going to pull on you quite a
Yeah.
lot. Alright, don't push it against there, you'll scratch it. That's it, just keep it off the chain guard. Right, finger. There we go. Right, on. Look at that gap now.
Yeah.
Right, let's measure.
That's low.
Right, with all these, when you've had the shocks undone and you've retorqued them, just scrape off the old marker paint that was on there before because it's now in a different place. What would you like, Carlos? Tangerine Racing Orange or Dragon's Blood?
I have Dragon's Blood, mate.
Dragon's Blood.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, baby. I'm just going to put it at 12 o'clock on there so you'll see when it's moved if.
Oh, I thought you were putting it on my nails.
Yeah, I'll get Penny to do that for you later.
12 o'clock, he can't tell the time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a rock star. No, that's drummers you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Drummers can't tell the time, can they?
That's why we ain't got one.
Yes. Moment of truth, dude.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Well, they look good.
They look a biz. That is low, baby. That is
It's
so
low.
slammed, baby. Don't move a lot either. Let's do this little measure. Right, that gap from there to there was 9.5 inches. We've lowered it to 8.25.
Bloody hell.
You took 1.25 inches out the back end
Wow.
on that direct ride height. 1.25 inches. But then it was too high to start with.
Yeah.
That looks just like a bobber, and of course, I mean, when you see them there, they are at 10.5 inches. Well, 10 inches is struts. If you want to go to solid struts,
yeah.
they're 10 inches. So you've got 1/2 inch of travel, and those springs are going to do practically nothing. So we'll see you back next week when your lumbar section tells you it's time to replace them. Okay, let's get on the quick done and do these foot pegs. All right, the task today is to take this foot peg off, which is a standard 48 foot peg. This isn't the case with all Sportsters, is it?
No.
What's the score with these? Because these are a little bit different in the sense that these shoulders get in the way. If you're looking in close on there, Ben, you can see that the way they've made this clevis, it is not symmetrical. The top part of this clevis is longer than the bottom part here because this drops back. So presumably that's just a foible of the 72 and the 48, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the others, that's equal.
That's right, yeah.
So this little doodah, which we're going to fit instead, is because you've got big shoulder here and here. That, when it goes in, is going to bat against this. So we've got to grind a little bit of that back today and change it. So the first job is take this out and offer it up and see what problems are out. And there's obviously underneath here, the way these mount in, if you're ever going to see, you've got a little tiny circlet like that. It just goes around that bottom. So just pop that out. And then you can just take out the pin like that, holds it in. And there's a little tab in there, a little spring tab. You see it there?
Yep.
Just make sure that doesn't disappear into the next dimension, as they usually do. Right, now we can, we don't need the tab in place for now. Obviously it's going to lever up. You look at orientation of the original one. The curve is at the top, so it levers upwards. And then that shoulder at the bottom sort of stops it in position. And that's like that. So we're going to pop that in there. And you can see the problem. It's what you have when you try to fit it. You put the pin through. You see where the pin is. It's missing it by, you see that? Probably about 6 mil, I reckon.
Yep.
So all we need to do is dress about 6 mil off the outside of that with a grinder. I reckon that's all it is. I'm not going to take any more than we have to, because what we don't want to do is come in here and weaken the hole itself, because it holds a foot peg which is extremely tough. So I reckon we're just going to trial and error, a little bit at a time. We'll just go at it, one after another. All right, let's crack on. Right. when you do all these things, it doesn't hurt to do a little test run. I learned that from Milo a long time ago. When you're doing any job and you're going to fire up a tool and you're going to go at it, it doesn't hurt to just do a little test, make sure you're not going to hit anything, just kind of walk through it, you know, like a dry run, to make sure you've got access to everything, and that when you get down here, you're not going to turn and trip over something and fall in a big heap with your legs in the air, because it's not really cool. And he'd laugh. As much as I laugh at him with his cool shades on. But hey, PPE, it's the one.
To know if the prize is stateside of Nuevo Laredo.
Right, it's just a case of remeasuring it. And that's closer straight away, but we need about 2 mil.
And when the face you trust most is no longer the one on which you can depend. When the fight feels futile.
Ta-da!
Next time, it's just a little bit close. Just clean it up, that'll be it. That's the height, we just need to clean that up, make it look a bit nicer. It's a bit messy.
It's not when it's out.
Splendid.
Alright, that's a nice job, that fits perfect, Dio. Lovely, okay. So, as that end is all that's been touched, what we're going to do is just mask it out. Okay, a little fishtail washer goes in, curved outwards, and that just gives a little bit of resistance so that the peg doesn't flop about. Pop that in. And if you make a mess of the cock slip. There we are. Let me just adjust that in a second. And the little circlip you can put back on with your fingers. You just put the first, put one ear in first. There you go. That's it. Make sure that's not going to come out, and then we'll just tighten that up. 1/4 inch Allen key. What do you reckon? Do you like it slanted back, or just see how they go?
I think you should probably just leave it like it is for now.
Right.
And then we'll put it on the ground, and we'll put it on the ground and see where it should be.
Good one. We'll set those in a minute.
Yeah.
Right. Just do it for there for now. There we go. Now that goes up and down as it should. And it's even got a bottle opener underneath.
Oh yeah.
Beers on you, beers. Right, let's do the other one and we'll drop it off the rack.
Cool. Yeah.
Those living with gunfire, to those who walk alone, always in transit, never gonna find a home. In backs of boxcars, in border towns, wide eyes, mescal compound.
What's your fun?
I think it's absolutely awesome, mate.
Not bad, is it? It's got more of a backward stance, which accentuates the kind of, because you've got a tank lift as well.
Yeah.
I like that. It definitely makes it look better. Because it's just like hardtail now, and I've seen them with struts, and they're about the same height.
I'm not quite brave enough for struts, but yeah, they look awesome.
No, you're not quite young enough. Need to be about 23 to do all that. Let's get it down off the ramp. Let's see what it feels like, shall we? I'm going to jack her up. You just want to sit on it, baby.
I'll say, anybody that owns a Sportster,
Yeah.
if you're not already on Sportster Sickness, if you're on Facebook, there's a
And that's sickness like that.
Sickness, yeah.
As in Sportster Sickness.
Yeah.
Cool, innit? Play with words and everything.
Yeah.
I've met loads of them, they're really cool.
They're cool, but they're awesome bunch. Any bits of help that you need on that site, there's just tons of people willing to help out. So yeah, if you own a Sportster, any Sportster, doesn't matter how old, whatever, if it's a Sportster, you'll be welcomed on Sportster Sickness UK.
Which is why they don't like me. They don't let me.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
They've even let me go on a ride. On a Triumph.
A Triumph Sportster.
Yeah, they're cool.
I've got a Fat Boy Sportster. You've got
No.
And this one's different now as well.
This one's different now as well.
So you can sit on it or what?
Yeah.
Right, let's get it off the ramp.
Cool, we go.
Did that rub the bench then?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Awesome.
That is way lower. That is so lower.
That's cool.
So you get it outside, stand back, see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Cheers, dude. Thanks for that.
Cheers, brother. That
No
was
worries
awesome,
at all.
man.
Thanks,
very
mate.
much, man.
The one thing with this, I just wanted to say that if you're going to do an install on stuff on your own bike, it isn't that difficult. There is always a way you can improve on something that the mass-produced accessory market manufacturers have done. They've made something, it kind of fits a wide range of bikes, but not all bikes. Point being with that, if you've got a Sportster 48 or a 72, you will have those asymmetric clevis joints, and therefore most of the foot pegs on the market, they're not available to you, are they?
No.
They've got...
You search for foot pegs. Anyone with a 48, you know what I'm talking about. You search for foot pegs. You find the set that you want. You read at the bottom, not suitable for 48s or 72s.
That's it. And that's it. You saw yourself. All the reason is for that is 3 or 4 millimeters of steel on the clevis, and all you have to do is just grind it off. If you haven't got a grinder, you could probably 10 minutes, you file them back.
Yeah.
Just file them out of the way, simple as that. And most of these accessories is because they're a universal part on that point, really.
Yeah.
And as they're a universal part, when you get a bike, a special bike like a 48 or a 72, they have certain little foibles about them, little quirks that mean the universal stuff doesn't always fit. The great thing with it is, with a bit of common sense, you can do it. And doing a nice install is what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, when somebody comes and looks at your bike and they see something fitted to it and it's beautifully installed, it's a really nice job, nicely finished, that's what makes you proud when they ask you, who did that for you? You say, I did it, yo.
Except for I didn't, Delboy did.
There we go, thanks for that. If you get any questions, links to Sportster Sickness underneath, so if you want to check them out in the box. Anything else, Ben?
No, that's it for
Anything
me.
else, Ben?
That's it, thank you.
Take your ride safe, thanks for watching, see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Rise beyond, below, above, and there's a billion people I'm not thinking of. Slowly slip into uneasy sleep as Tom McAdam boils under